welcome back to Libib's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Kaylin, and welcome back to another bookish video. Recently, I was using Grammarly, as I always do, but I didn't realize that they had an AI feature. You can ask it 100 prompts per month, and then it refills and restarts the next month. This video is also not sponsored by Grammarly. I just thought it was really cool. And then I was like, I wonder if I could do an AI-generated book tag, and that I did. So feel free to mention and tag anyone that you want to see do this video as well. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification because later this week we are having a video come out where I had AI create interview questions about AI and libraries. So that full video is going to come out on Thursday, so you don't want to miss out on that one either. But anyways, let's just get into today's video. Question number 1, what are you currently reading and what do you think of it so far? Well, I am currently reading Six of Crows by Libib, and what do I think of it so far? I am loving it. I am in for this whole heistiness. I love my beautiful copy. However, I am reading it via Kindle / listening to it on audio / also reading it on Kindle, following along on the audiobook because it has a full-fledged cast. So I don't want to read this because I don't want to get this beauty hurt or damaged or anything. But I'm loving it, enjoying it so far. It's going to take me probably a little bit longer to read and finish. I'm hoping I get it done by the end of the year so it can be on my favorites of 2023 list. So far, loving, enjoying it. If you like heists, multiple POVs, and if you're into audiobooks that have full-fledged casts, this is it for you. Question number 2, have you ever read a book that changed your life? Tell us about it. I think the main 3 books that have changed my life is Harry Potter, Twilight, and Divergent, not Hunger Games, surprisingly. My favorite out of the 3 is definitely going to be Twilight because this book has literally changed my life. I still have this core memories stuck in the little files in the back of my brain that I like to pull out every now and then when I think about the first time that I was introduced to Twilight. This was way back in the day. This was the summer before 7th grade. It was July. I was over at my friend Hannah's house and her mom were raving about how good Twilight was. And I was like, I need to pick this book up. Bought the book, read it, enjoyed Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn. New Moon is still my favorite book. Also my favorite movie out of the whole thing. Love them. Love them so much. And then I had this hiatus where kind of the Hunger Games and Divergent kind of took over. But there's always been this Twilight resurgence or renaissance or whatever. It always comes back into my life somehow in the most silliest of ways. I just felt like Twilight at that moment in my life really got me back into reading. And I was also reading all the things that my friend Hannah was reading. So I got into City of Bones and other books by her and the Shiver series by Maggie Stiefvater. We had this whole fun friendship of reading and writing, and Twilight really brought that together and I loved that. Question number 3, do you prefer physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks? Why? I will forever be a physical book girly for the rest of my life. Even though all my family members hate helping to move my books every time I move. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. There's so many and they're so heavy. I try to be nice and put them in rolling suitcases so it's easier to move. I have the Kindle and I'm trying to read Six of Crows on it. I like it, but I think it's okay. Audiobooks, as long as I'm listening to it while I'm reading the book, I have no problem, but if I'm listening to the audiobook just in general, it's just not for me. I'm just a physical book girly. Question number 4, who is your favorite author and why do you love their work? I'm not going to pick just one of my favorite authors because I feel like all of my favorite authors can just be molded into a little ball and this is why they're my favorite author. The reason why they're my favorite author is because either that book was just so pivotal, that moment in my life when I needed it the most, or it was just a great story, that sucked me in and kind of just changed my life. Question number 5, have you ever participated in a book club or reading group? Share your experience. I have not participated in a book club or reading group, but it's just solely based on that I am very much a mood reader, and it just kind of feels like book clubs are assigned reading back in high school, so I just don't do the book club or the reading group. However, I do think it would be fun to create a book club where everyone just reads whatever they want for that month, and then you sit down in a circle and everyone talks about all the different books that they read. Like, so-and-so read this graphic novel, or so-and-so read this book, or so-and-so read that book. Because I think it's just such a fun way to explore new books and new authors that you may actually try and love. So like, that's my ideal book group. Other than that, I have not participated in any book clubs or reading groups. What book have you been meaning to read for a while but haven't gotten around to yet? The one book that specifically comes to mind is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This book just sounds so good. I've read the first like 10 pages. Not even. I read like the first 9 pages and stopped at chapter 1. I still need to finish it. I love that it's such a flimsy book. The cover is beautiful. My friend Mesa actually recommended it to me, and I haven't read it since, so yikes. But I plan to one day, someday, get to it again. Question number 7, do you have a favorite genre of literature? If so, what draws you to that particular genre? I really happen to love not only like YA, middle grade, graphic novels and comics and stuff like that. That's mainly because the art is super cute and they normally have a super cute storyline that goes with it. I'm all about like adorable things and artwork. But my favorite genre would have to be like a YA horror mystery suspensey kind of thing going on. Also dystopian. I love dystopian. Let's bring dystopian back. YA dystopian, bring it back right now. But I love and enjoy YA horror because it's enjoying to read, and I'm afraid adult horror might scare me too much because I get scared watching Ghost Adventures. I like that YA horror is like a little bit tame and it's fully enjoyable. I still get the little spooky spooks, and that's what draws me to it. I get spooky spooks, but I'm not going to get nightmares for days and scared out of my pants like I do when I watch Ghost Adventures.
Oh my God, Billy!
What was that?
There's something in there just moved. Are you okay, Bill?
Yeah. Shook up.
We were right here.
I heard something hiss upstairs.
Question number 8, have you ever read a book that you couldn't put down? What was it about the book that made it so captivating? I feel like this is really funny because this book talks about AI as well, and that is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I could not put this book down because of how the story is told in file format. So it's like files and emails and multimedia, mixed media. It's just such a great book to have. Like the entire trilogy is like that. This book talks about like AI and AI being not so great and overtaking things. So Aiden, the AI, spooky, gives me the heebie-jeebies. And like, this is why I can't trust AI. I could not put this book down because the way the book was written was very interesting. I hadn't read anything like that before. And also the full-fledged cast for the audiobook, combining those two, when I'm sitting there reading it and listening to it, it was just fantastic. Couldn't put it down. Phenomenal book. Love it. Highly recommend. I highly recommend picking up this book because there's 3 books in this trilogy. It's great and fantastic. Question number 9, are there any books that you've read multiple times? If so, what keeps bringing you back to them? My biggest thing is I rarely reread any books, and it has to be a gosh darn good book to reread. Throughout my life, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban has been like the most pivotal book in my life, my time. It holds a special place in my heart, and that's why I love and enjoy it so much. Question number 10, have you ever discovered a new author that you end up loving? How did you first come across their work? Oh, this is another great question to end this tag on. How I first came across Langleaf's work. I just love telling this story because it was one of those books that's kind of like pivotal in my life that if I didn't ask someone, like I would have never known and I would have never discovered my love for Langleaf. I was on a bookish vacation where I just stayed in a hotel and just kind of read and went book shopping. And so I was in Madison, Wisconsin, and I was at their Barnes & Noble. And I asked the sales associate, I was like, hey, I like poetry. Do you have any recommendations? And they recommended Langleaf. So I picked up this book. And while I'm still like a couple of books behind as of right now in her poetry collection and her published work, I still really love and enjoy Langleaf. It's one of my favorite stories because if I didn't ask the sales associate to make a recommendation for me, I would have never known my love for Langleaf. And this is like the only book that I've ever annotated with a pen. There's a video of that. as well. But I love this book so much. I love the author so much, and I love that I got the courage to ask someone, hey, what recommendation would you give? And they gave me this, and it was the best thing ever. Anyways, in the comment section down below, let me know, are you afraid of AI or not? Don't forget to tag or mention anyone that you would love to see do this tag as well. And that's gonna be it. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for a new bookish video.